Hi everybody, I'm Phil Fatika. This is the Millcreek Government Channel. You notice we're in a different location today for you. We are standing at the Blasco Library. It is located on the Bayfront. And of course, this is Margaret Stewart. Margaret is the head of the library here. In fact, she's the head of all the Erie County libraries. Margaret, thank you for inviting us to a happening place. This is the place where things are going on.
Thank you for coming. We're happy that you're here.
Our pleasure. So what's going on? What's happening at the library?
Well, let's see. Where shall we begin?
Yeah, that's really the case. And there's so much going on.
So much
everybody should be aware of.
You're right. In addition to books and audiovisual, we're going to actually take you on a tour of the library today. But we also have digital downloads. We have, and when we talk about digital downloads, we're talking about books. We're talking about music as well.
Yeah.
We're talking about programs. We have story times. We have
kind of interesting. And just to interrupt you a second, the genealogy we were talking about off camera, we're going to get to. That's really fascinating to me because I'd like to know who my grandfather's grandfather was, and I don't know that. So,
and that's
we'll get to that.
That's one thing. Yes, you'll meet someone today who will talk to you about that. Genealogy, by the way, is the #1 pastime, American pastime, genealogy research, and many people rely on the library for that pastime.
So this is not your grandmother's grandfather's
well, that's what I always
library.
say.
This is a changing, happening place right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you notice we're not talking in hushed tones here. We're standing in the library, in the lobby. It's not that what people used to think it is. Thousands of people come through here monthly. Circulation is up. Cards are up everywhere. People find that the library contributes to their quality of life. Do you agree with that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Many businesses, when they're looking at relocating to an area, they look at the library. And in fact, years ago, do you remember when Elder Bierman moved into he was quoted right in the newspaper as saying, and this was around the time when we were building the Blasco Library, their president was quoted as saying, one of the reasons we came here was because of the investment that the county was making in the library system.
By the way, if you belong to a book club, this is the deal for you here. It's the Green Bag Special. It is Master the Art of Reading. They have 10 books in here that you can check out and discussion guides. So, in this case, if you would like to read the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society, then this is the deal for you. Good deal for book clubs. This is Daryl Kidder, and Daryl has a very special talent in the library, and that is doing what?
Well, we started this program called Cross-Cultural Conversations.
Wow.
And the idea is to help people who are learning English to have practice listening to it as it's spoken in Erie.
Wow.
And practice speaking it in a setting that's comfortable for them, non-threatening. And when you go in the grocery store, you know, there's people that they want to hear what you have to say. There's pressure to perform. And so a lot of immigrants just don't have the chance to practice speaking in a non-threatening, friendly.
And this is free?
Yes, this
doesn't cost a thing. Oh, what a great idea!
So what we do is we meet in small groups. There's people who have spoken English all their lives, meet with people who are learning English, and we just talk about anything and everything.
That is terrific. Now, is this a partnership with the International Institute, perhaps?
They have had a lot of input in this. Katie White has been a good advisor to me. Yeah, they've been very supportive, as has the Multicultural Resource Center.
So the diversity of the library is alive and well with Daryl Kidder doing the practice speaking English on Monday nights. Call her, she'll get you connected to that. And if you have a book club and you're interested in checking out 10 books in a bag, how can you go wrong? Like we said, it's all happening here at the library. Behind me, you can see the size of the bookcases indicate that we are in the children's library section of the Blasco Library. And of course, this is where you want to bring your youngsters, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, to introduce them to the love of reading. The book I'm holding is called The Tale of Tom Kitten. It is by Beatrix Potter, and everybody knows that Beatrix Potter wrote about who?
Peter Rabbit.
Peter Rabbit. And answering that question is Andrew Miller. Andrew is the librarian here in the children's section. Is that correct?
That's right.
We're talking about the great things happening at the library that a lot of people don't know about. Well, what's happening here in the children's section?
Well, in addition to all the programs that we offer down here at the library, I wanted to show you some of the new things that we've gotten here.
Yeah.
These are called Play Views.
Wow.
And if you open that up right there, it's a self-contained video player.
Okay.
So these are great for grocery shopping or car trips. They can take them out for a week. And it's usually got about 6 to 8 programs, educational, Sesame Street, that kind of thing.
And again, all you need is your library card,
All
right?
you need is your library card, and you don't need any other equipment.
Gosh, that's incredible. Check it out. Check it out, as they say. Now, I have the book, you have the Play View, and this is?
This is a Playaway audiobook.
Ooh.
And again, you need no equipment, you just need your own headphones, and this will read the story to you. So
Look at that.
we have a lot of parents who like to have their kids
small.
listen to the book and read at the same time. So they're great.
Gosh. Now, when the people come here to the library and the children come in, as you say, it's a changing scene. This is the Throne of Fire. This is Playview, I think Peep, Seasons of Adventures. And of course, I'm holding the old standby here, the book by Beatrix Potter. But everything is changing so much, Andrew. When the children come here, how do the parents react to what you're giving them? They're saying, boy, that's great, that's what I'm looking for. But do they still check out these? Do they still take these home and read these? Yeah.
Most of our circulations are still print books, even though ebooks have sort of been the new thing, and we are incorporating ebooks into our catalog. People still do like the print books, especially in the children's library.
Yeah. Do you have any special programs for children that they come in certain read times, or let's just come in and browse, for example?
We have story times here at the Blasco Library for toddlers and preschoolers. Those are on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and we have a branch storytime program at all of the Erie County branches.
Can people find this information online? And the website for the Erie County Library is?
It's erielibrary.org, and under the Children's tab you can find all the information for our programs.
Super.
All of our programs are registration though, so be sure to call in and register.
I assume that because they are registration driven, that means they're popular.
Yes.
Because you can only accommodate so many at such a time. Okay.
Yep.
Where do you see this going? So much of the youngsters today, and when I say youngsters, I'm talking social media, teenagers in probably middle school and possibly late grade school, and certainly high school, they are electronically connected. Are we losing them to reading? Is this going away?
I don't think that's going away, but I think the library is doing things to capture those people. And one of the things that we've started to do is subscribe to a service called Freegal.
Spell that.
Freegal. Free and legal together.
G-A-L. Freegal.
Freegal.
Okay, now explain that.
And what it is library card holders can download 3 MP3s a week and keep them for life.
Really?
They can put them on their iPods, they can put them on their computer, they can put it on their iPad, and it's DRM free. That's digital rights management. They can keep it forever.
How do I do that? I have a library card, and I'm interested in what you just said, so what do I do now?
You go onto our website.
Okay, again, which is?
www.erielibrary.org, and under the digital media tab, you'll choose Freegal.
Freegal.
That's it.
And then what comes up? What do I look at?
It'll take you to a login page. You just put in your library card number, and then you can search the Sony media catalog, which is hundreds of thousands of songs that Sony owns the rights to.
Wow. Wow. And can I assume that as time goes on, there'll be more songs in there?
They change their catalog pretty much monthly with new additions.
Okay. Let's talk then about the downloading of electronic books. Can you do that?
We can.
I mean, you want to get these people, as you said, I think, and alluded to, like you want to get them hooked into reading.
Right.
It's so easy to play the video games, the Nintendos, the Wiis. It's so easy to do that. But the libraries are keeping pace, and I'm glad to see that you are here because you are the next generation of what's going to be happening here. So let's talk. We got the free MP3s. Now let's get to the books.
Okay.
How do you compete with the Amazon.coms and all those people and the Kindles and stuff like that?
We subscribe to a database called Overdrive. Again, that's on our website in the digital media tab. And there you can check out all the ebooks that we've purchased. They're compatible with Kindles, they're compatible with Nooks, and all the other mainstream e-readers that people have been getting for Christmas. And all you need there's your library card, and in Amazon's case, you'd also need an Amazon account, but that's sort of standard with the Kindle.
Okay, so in other words, I can download the book, mine, free.
Right.
Don't have to return it.
After 3 weeks, the file will just go dead. You don't have to return it, and you don't have to worry about late fees.
What do you mean the file goes dead?
We check out our ebooks for 3 weeks at a time.
Oh, okay.
So you get the opportunity to read it for 3 weeks, and then when your file goes dead, the next person in line gets to read it.
All right, okay. So then you lose the book on your e-reader.
Right.
But you can then select more.
Right, or you
Okay.
could check out the same one again.
So it's like electronically returning it, but in this case,
Exactly.
it's deleted. Yeah. General question here, nothing to do with the children's library so much, but this is so easy to walk off with. You know, now, I don't know. I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. They don't really want to walk off with it, but they do. And is that an issue for libraries everywhere?
It's an issue for libraries everywhere, and that's why the first thing associated with libraries is books and fines.
Okay.
So we get a theft rate here, but it's not something that would ever deter us from cutting services or anything like that.
Does the electronics then address that? Because actually, you get it and then it's gone for 3 weeks. You know, I mean,
Right.
you're not walking out with it. Is it moving more and more toward that? You think the libraries will change? They have to compete.
Right. I think people want access to their movies, their music, and their books 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And to keep up with that, the library is offering all of these online services.
It's my opinion that this is one of the very few free services that people get by paying their taxes. It doesn't cost anything to come to the library. You can get a card. Doesn't cost anything at all. Is it written on the wind, so to speak, that sometime you may have to pay a user fee, or will the library say, no, 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 they should always be free? Tough question, I know.
Tough question, but we're always going to try and keep as much free as possible. Here in the children's room, everything is always free. And sometimes out in the adult, you'll see some rental fees for DVDs or things like that, but for the most part, we try and keep as much possible free.
This is the Heritage Room, and this is really the happening place in the library. And we're sitting next to the most happening woman in the library, Debbie Lyon. Debbie, first of all, let me brag on her. Debbie wrote the book Greetings from Wesleyville, 475 pages, thank you. Greetings from Wesleyville, Volume 2. I'm impressed.
Well, thank you.
My goodness. I guess you might say you're into genealogy.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be an accurate statement.
Yes. And how did that happen? And how can people do that by coming here? And what's happening next? And I got a bazillion questions for you, so let's first of all take it from the very obvious place. The Heritage Room exists in the library to have people do what?
To help people trace their family.
That simple as that?
Simple as that.
Okay. I noticed that in my notes here it says that so far, or last year, you had people from 32 states and Canada come here.
That's correct.
They're just being nosy, or is the trail led here, so to speak?
Well, this is a destination. We are known as a genealogy resource in the tri-state area.
Oh, okay.
So they come here, look up their family, spend money in the community.
Yes.
It's a good resource.
Interesting.
Yes.
Now, I was not aware of this, that in order to really get plugged into who we were, so we understand who we are, so we can perhaps predict who we're going to be, there is something going on with the census that I was totally unaware of. Tell me about that.
The 1940 census will soon become available.
And that means that people who are checking out genealogy will be able to use a kind of like a sheet of paper I'm holding in front of me here, that 70 some odd years later, this information is being released so that you can actually go find out who lived at blah, 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 blah street.
That's correct.
Okay, so you're telling me that the census that was recently completed, that information won't be released until, well, I'm passed away.
Right, 72 years.
72 years, okay. Let me share with our viewers, this is the 1940 Erie City Directory. And I'm looking at Epp Furniture, I'm looking at Schlosser, I'm looking at Chick's Carico Service Station, E.W. Miller Real Estate. names that in some instances are no longer around. So if I looked in the city directory here and I was looking for the Fatikas, I wouldn't find them? I wouldn't find a whole lot about them?
Not a whole lot. It will tell you the head of the household, where that person worked, and the address that they lived at.
And that's it?
Yes.
Okay, but when the new census rolls out, you get this big sheet of paper here that pretty much spells out a lot of information.
Yes, it does.
And you're like the great detective here, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you got to check out this book here. This is 400 plus pages of what was going on in Wesleyville. And you're working on another one.
Yes,
and
I
that's
am.
for whom?
For Harbor Creek. Greetings from Harbor Creek.
Wow. So, I want to track down the Fatikas, common name in this area, and what do I do? Where do I begin? The day we're doing this, there are people in here already doing this in their family history names. How do I go? How do I start? I don't know where to begin this.
Start at home. Ask your oldest relatives for some names of people, the dates they were born, dates they passed away.
Okay.
And once you have jotted down some information, you can come in and then we can help lead you to other sources that we have here in the Blasco Library.
So that's your job?
Yes.
Yeah. This is why libraries are so vibrant, so alive, because you can say, well, I can go online and do that. Well, maybe and maybe not. And that online could end really rapidly. That trail will go cold immediately.
Yes.
Yes. So, okay, so I come in, I get some information, I know that we lived here, I know that my father's father was there, and then I start gathering and writing and putting it all together, and then what do I do from that?
What do you do from there? Let's find out who your oldest ancestor is that you actually know about.
Okay.
If they lived in Erie, we can look and see when they passed away. We have obituary index books. And from that will lead us to the Erie newspapers, maybe the Dispatch or the Times. And we can look up their obituary, find some biographical information about that person.
Okay.
Find out what city they were born in. Maybe that'll lead you back to the old country.
Which my cousin did, and it did do that for us. We went back to Italy, and she had some success, but not as much as she wanted to have.
Okay.
Now, you said, though, you've had a lot of success.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, I've been pretty lucky in that my family's been in America since early 1800s or so, and I've been able to track them through the census, through obituaries, through published books, published county histories, and other things.
This is all available. In fact, if it's not actually here physically in a book, and this again, the 1940 Erie City Directory, is it on microfilm or is it on digital? I mean, the records, are they available to a lot of different formats?
Yes.
Can you check any of this out?
No, this is a reference library here in the Heritage Room. You can make photocopies, you can copy with your digital camera, but
you
these
can?
materials stay in the room here, yes.
And there's no fee attached to this whatsoever?
There's no fee. The only fee is if you make photocopies, that's all.
Okay, you have to pay for the paper and
Yes.
use of that. All right. So you do this, and is it become, as you said, the #1 hobby in America?
Yes, that is true.
Wow. Isn't there another television show on somewhere where people trace their genealogy and they find out I'm related to whom?
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are?
Yes.
Yeah, that's incredible. That is incredible.
Yes.
And again, we are in the Heritage Room of the Blasco Library. This is Debbie Lyon. She can help you out with anything you want to know. So I'm running into problems, and I've gotten so far, and I know there's more to find. It's kind of like the search for the Holy Grail here. I know it's there, but what do I turn after I can no longer turn here and you can't help me? What did you do? Where do you go next? I know, does the trail always seem somewhere it leads to?
Yes, maybe it leads to a different town, to a different county, a county courthouse.
Okay.
You can go church records, baptismal, marriage records.
Yeah.
But the town of origin is always a good place to check if you are hitting a brick wall.
Is it important that people today, with so much video equipment, using your cell phone you can do this, you hear a lot of oral history being recorded. Does that play into your research, that you can actually talk today and say that my father's father was? Did you ever use that information?
Yes, that's a very important source. Yes, and then you can use that as a clue to gain clues to verify those facts.
Wow. Yeah. It's become maybe a little bit easier because of the fact that we do take better care of our records, or do we still go, you know, Erie City Directory 1940, who's interested in that? Yeah, let's put it out in the garbage. Do we still do that too?
Yes, we still do, and you can drive by city streets and see various large
Yeah.
containers and people throwing out personal items.
Yeah, what do we need this for? That's of no interest. Nobody really cares about that.
Right.
Yeah, that's a shame because we're throwing away our past, our history. Yes.
Right, so you shouldn't always assume that everything will be on the internet.
Oh no, you're
You always need
exactly
to document
right.
your own family.
Yes. So again, what I didn't know was the fact that shortly, the census taken in 1940 will be releasing a great deal, a flood of information that was never available, let's say, in the city directory, because this would just say a number for maybe your address and who was the head of the household or something
Right,
like that.
and the occupation.
Scant information.
Yes.
But this is going to be Excel
detailed.
spreadsheet spread out there. So for those of you, come and see Debbie.
Yes,
Debbie, thanks.
you're welcome.
Well, I have my library card. I'm going to use that to check out the book here. And by the way, it's free. I've checked out the computers. Those are free for your usage. Is this the happening place or what? Oh, absolutely. And by the way, the Erie County Library System is the third biggest system in the state. So I'll see you here. I'm Phil Fatika.